Okay, I'm going to be doing my quiz for the pregnancy growth and development chapter. So, for the first question, describe pregnancy, including the major development changes that occur during each trimester. So, for the first trimester, it's weeks 1 through 12, and fertilization occurs and the zygote becomes an embryo. And then major organs start forming, such as the heart, the brain, and the spinal cord. And the heart begins beating around weeks 4 to 5. And the arms, the legs, and the facial features start developing during this period. And then by the end of the trimester, it is now called a fetus. So during the second trimester, this is weeks 13 to 26, the fetus grows rapidly in size, and then the skeleton starts forming more fully, and the brain develops more complex structures, and the fetus starts moving and developing reflexes, or the reflexes begin, and then the hair, eyebrows, and fingernails also form. So during the third trimester, this is weeks 27 to 40, and the fetus gains most of its weight during this period of time, and then the lungs finish developing, and the brain grows quickly, and the fetus practices breathing movements, and then by the end, the head turns upside down and prepares for birth. So for my second question, describe the major stages of prenatal development, including cellular progression through the first 2 weeks. Include a diagram to assist in your explanation. So here's my diagram. Fertilization is the first step, and sperm and egg form a zygote, and then the zygote divides into more cells without growing in size, and then the morula grows a solid ball of cells, and then the bioplast is a hollow ball of cells that implants into the uterus, and then for the implantation period, the bioplast attached to the uterine lining around days 6 to 7, and then after 2 weeks, 2 to 8 weeks, the embryonic stage occurs, and major organs start forming during this period, and the heart begins beating, and the limb buds appear, and then the placenta develops during this period of time. So the fetal stage is week 8 to birth, and the organs mature. During that stage, the size also increases, and the body system develops through enough to function outside the womb after birth. So during the week 8, the womb develops, and so the body can function outside of birth. And then for question 3, describe the major changes of postnatal development. So postnatal development refers to growth after birth. So infancy is around 1 year, and during this period, rapid brain growth occur, and you learn to lift your head. You learn to lift your head, sit, crawl, and stand throughout your first year of life, and then you also have your first words around your first year of life. So then childhood is ages 1 through 12, and then during this period, steady growth in height and coordination develop, And then motor skills improve, such as running, drawing, and writing. And then your cognitive skills expand, such as reading, problem solving, and just learning how to do things. And then adolescence is ages 12 to 18, and during this period of time, growth spurts occur, and motor skills improve, like running, drawing, writing. You gain fine motor skills, and then your cognitive skills expand, such as reading and problem solving. And then wait. Yeah, and then adolescents 12 to 18, hormonal changes and development of body systems occur, and then increasing independence and emotional development. So during adulthood, it's anything after 18, or even 18 plus. Growth levels off, and then physical strength peaks in early adulthood, and later adults include gradual slowing metabolism and muscle loss once you get older. Okay. So question number 3. Question number 4. Compare and contrast C-sections and vaginal deliveries. So, a vaginal delivery, the baby is born through the birth canal, and then usually shorter recovery for the parent compared to a C-section. And then hormones released during birth help prepare the baby for breathing. And then during a C-section, a surgical procedure where the baby is delivered through incisions in the abdomen and uterus, often done in pregnancy, complications occur. Example, fetal distress, breech position, and then when you have a C-section, there's a longer recovery time since it's a major surgery. And then some similarities, both are methods that can safely deliver a baby, and both require medical monitoring. Also, each can be planned or unplanned depending on the situation. So question 5, explain what circumstances can lead to a miscarriage. So a miscarriage is the natural loss of a pregnancy before 20 weeks. Common causes include like chromosomal abnormalities in the embryo, which is the most common. And then also there can be problems with implantation, hormonal imbalance, certain infections, and then abnormalities in the uterus. And then serious trauma or severe illness can also be a problem. Nothing about normal daily activities like light exercise or stress typically causes a miscarriage. Typically it's something more than that. So question 6, describe how in vitro fertilization can be used to help a pregnancy be successful. In vitro fertilization, also known as IVF, helps people who have trouble getting pregnant naturally. The ovaries are medically stimulated to produce multiple eggs, and eggs are collected from ovaries. So sperm is combined with eggs in a in a laboratory dish, and then fertilized eggs become embryos, and then one or more healthy embryos are placed into the uterus, and this helps when the fallopian tubes are blocked. Sperm count is low. The ovulation issues occur, and then other fertility problems make natural conception hard for some people. So for some people, IVF might be something they need to get pregnant. Okay. Explain how pregnancy tests work to detect pregnancy. Pregnancy tests work to detect pregnancy. Pregnancy tests work to detect They detect pregnancy by detecting human chorionic gonadotropin, and so after a fertilized egg implants into the uterus, the developing placenta makes human chorionic gonadotropin, which is also known as ACG. So the developing placenta makes ACG, and then the hormone enters the bloodstream and urine, and home pregnancy tests check for HCG in urine, and if HCG is present, the test will show a positive result. Thank you.